Imagine this. You turn on the news expecting to hear about the achievements of the government and their bold plans for the future after winning a landslide election. But instead, you are confronted with a storm of controversy that dominates the headlines all week long. This is exactly what happened at the Labour Party conference, their second since coming to power. What should have been a celebration of policy victories turned into a heated national debate about immigration, race, and morality. It all began on a Sunday morning live on the BBC, when Labour leader and Prime Minister Keir Starmer was asked a pointed question about Britain's policy on indefinite leave to remain. His answer shocked many. He said quite plainly, "I believe it is a racist policy. I believe it is immoral and it must be called out for what it is now." Was this a carefully prepared attack line, or did it simply slip out under pressure? That is the mystery. But one thing is clear from that moment, the party doubled down, repeating that message throughout the week. Have you noticed how one word can dominate the political conversation of an entire country? Do you think it was wise for the Prime Minister to use the word racist in such a high-stakes environment, or did it weaken his credibility as a leader? The very next day, the new Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood presented her own proposals to address indefinite leave to remain. But the genie was already out of the bottle and the conversation had shifted. Then Chancellor Reeves added fuel to the fire, declaring that people with indefinite leave had every right to be here and that deporting them simply because they were not born in Britain would be racist and wrong. What do you think does fairness mean? Opening the door to everyone who has settled here? Or should citizenship still carry unique privileges? As the debate heated up, David Lammy joined in, to insisting that any plan to round up and deport French Indian or Caribbean neighbors who already hold indefinite leave to remain must be recognized for what it is. Racist again, the word kept returning again and again and again. But here is the striking part. Even with this storm, Labour could not escape the shadow of Boris Johnson. The legacy of his government looms large. Between 1 and 2 million people are expected to gain indefinite leave to remain in the next 3 years. That means entitlement to benefits and the ability to bring dependents to the UK. Once that happens, the demographic and financial impact will be enormous. How do you feel about that? Is this a fair reflection of modern Britain or a ticking time bomb for the welfare system? And then came the big speech from Starmer himself, a speech where the word racist was repeated almost like a drumbeat. But critics like Nigel Farage slammed it as gutter politics. He argued that the Prime Minister had insulted millions of people and put public safety at risk. Farage said the rhetoric was dangerous, especially after the killing of his friend Charlie Kirk just 3 weeks earlier. He claimed this language emboldens the radical left, the masked protesters who are willing to use violence. So let me ask you directly, do you believe Starmer is standing up against injustice, or is he recklessly fueling division? Should leaders be more cautious with their words? Or is blunt honesty exactly what Britain needs right now? This is not just about immigration policy. This is about trust leadership and the future direction of the country. One side insists these policies defend human rights. The other side warns they will strain public services and deepen divisions. Who is right, who is wrong, and where do you stand? Before we end, I want to hear your thoughts if you were Prime Minister. How would you balance compassion with control? How would you decide who deserves indefinite leave and who does not? Share your answers below, because this debate is not going away. Sources: BBC News, Sky News, GB News.